Today we're going to talk about lesson 8.7, finding the area of a triangle. And you might be asking why. Well, again, this is one of those geometric shapes that we've talked about that you're going to need to be able to find area of a triangle, a parallelogram, a rectangle, and some other shapes as you move on in your math career. So today we're going to talk about the how. But before we do that, I would like to review triangles in general, just to make sure that you remember what they are, what kinds there are, and things like that. So let's take a look here. Triangles, as we have talked about before when we did a session on geometry, are a three-sided polygon. The sum of their angles equals 180 degrees. So that means if you were to measure each angle in a triangle and add them up, they would equal 180 degrees every time. Okay? They have three vertices. They are convex polygons. And we have four types. The first one is an equilateral triangle, and that means that all of the sides of the triangle, if you were to measure them, would be exactly the same length. Isosceles triangle has at least two sides that are the same length. That third side can be a different length. A scalene triangle means that none of the sides are equal, so each one would be a different measurement. And then we have our right triangle that most of you probably are pretty familiar with. A right triangle has at least one 90-degree angle, okay? Alright, so let's look at and talk about the formula for finding the area of a triangle. We can do two different formulas. The first one is area equals 1/2 the area of a parallelogram, which we learned the last time. Or we can do this one, which I think is a little bit simpler, 1/2 base times height, or 1/2 BH. So what we have to do is we look at these triangles that I have up here, and I've already done some examples, but I want to walk you through what I did. So I have a triangle that has a measurement of 5 centimeters on this side and 10 centimeters on the bottom. And this, of course, would be my base. And the height for this particular triangle would be that 5 centimeters. So I write my formula down. Area equals 1/2 base times height. And then, again, I'm going to put that 1/2, and in parentheses, I'm going to write my base number and my height number, 10 times 5, and then I multiply those together. Well, 10 times 5 is 50, and I need to take half of 50. So my area for this triangle would be 25 centimeters squared. Don't forget your units there. Okay, so 25 centimeters squared for this example. Let's take a look at this one. You'll notice that my base is 6 centimeters, and my height I have listed with this dotted line because we actually want to measure how tall it is. We don't want the length of this side or the length of this side because we're finding area, not perimeter. So I'm going to take those measurements, I'm going to plug in my formula, and I'm going to write 1/2. And then my base is 6, my height is 5, I multiply 6 times 5, I get 30. 1/2 of 30 gives me 15 centimeters squared. Another way to do that would be 30 divided by 2. So anytime we have half of something, you can also divide by 2 if you want to do it that way. Down here at the bottom, I have a very strange looking triangle, I know. Mrs. Diem's artwork at its best, right? Anyway, so we've got 20 inches here on the bottom, which is going to form my base, and then my height is going to be this 10 inches right here. So again, I write my formula down. Area equals 1/2 BH. Then I'm going to write 1/2. My base is 20 inches. My height is 10. I'm going to multiply 20 times 10, which is going to be 200. I can do 200 divided by 2, or I can do 1/2 of 200, whichever is easier for you. And I get 100 inches squared. Okay? So that is basically our area of a triangle, and if you need to watch the examples again just to be sure that you understand it, please do so. Watch the video as many times as you need to do to get that formula in your head and to be able to understand how to do it in class. So hopefully that makes sense. You could try some at home, make up your own triangles, write your measurements in, see if you can figure out what that area would be for that triangle. So I will see you in class. If you have questions, send me a message or an email, and I'll try to get back with you. See ya!